As promised, this is the first episode of the Painterly Portrait series. This is going to be on how to embellish and beautify your backgrounds or your environment. Now, there will be two quick edits in this. One will be an outdoor one, and the second one will be a studio one. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, let's begin with our environment. And this is going to obviously be an outdoor image. And just so that you know, in case you're wondering, I shot this with my Sony A7R5 and my 50mm at f1.2, and my ISO was 1/25th and my shutter was 250th. Okay, so this is straight out of the camera. You can see it's beautiful. I did have a light here, camera right, and it was just an 80-200 in a mag sphere. All right, so we're not really focused on the subject because we're more or less only going to address the environment and the background. So what I want you to do is when you're in Adobe Camera Raw or Lightroom, they're both virtually identical. I'm going to really focus on going into my masking, and I'm going to choose my background, and that should deselect our subject nicely. And then the first thing I want to do is pull up my shadows. I'm going to pull down my contrast. Now, because I shot this wide open at f1.2, I'm really focused on creating that dreamy background. So what I like to do is reduce my contrast, increase my shadows. I'm going to come down into my clarity slider here, and I'm going to reduce it even further, which is going to butter it up even more. And I'm going to reduce the texture as well. I'm not going to go too much more than -22 or 25 on these. And the dehaze, I'm going to actually reduce the dehaze just a little bit, maybe -10, and that's going to help soften everything up as well. And then I'm going to come down into my point color, and I'm going to pick this bright yellow here. And you can see in the color picker here, you can just grab this little guy and you can really warm it up, because I prefer a more orangey yellow to a lime green yellow. Okay, and then you can pick it again, and let's say we want to get rid. This is very cyan looking. You can see it's in the cyan range. We're again going to pull this over into the warmer color, and you can see how much cyan really is in this image. So it's going to depend on what look you're kind of going for. So I'm probably going to go about here. We're going to reduce my luminance just a smidge. And I'm seeing I still have that cyan. I'm going to try to pick it again. Sometimes the system says, no, it's redundant. We've already done that. So if I do, okay, it's letting me. Again, I'm pulling that to the left, and then I'm going to pick one more, and I'm going to come over here. This is very cyan-y. See how cyan-y that is? And unfortunately, it doesn't give you a lot of options as far as going more into the gold. But if we go like this, we can really reduce the saturation so that it actually turns a little bit more gray, which is fine. What you can always do is you can add some gold or some yellow to those kind of transition parts. I am going to pick another one, and this time I'm going to come over here, and I knew this was going to be a lot in the blues. You can see the whole hue is in the blues, and there's not much we can do with that because it's not offering us a range of other colors. So that's going to have to be addressed in Photoshop. And I think for all intents and purposes, this is about as good as we're going to get. One thing that we could do is grab this color and just reduce the luminance on it. So just pull that back. And if we do that, we also could grab this one here. And you have to sometimes click, because if it's too white, it won't let you. But I went more into the gray here. And again, I'm going to choose that luminous. So you can see that it looks like crap, right? So we're going to kind of leave it where it was, because we can better address that in Photoshop. And then I'm going to add another mask, and I'm going to choose my linear gradient. And I'm just going to kind of create a luminance over here, and I'm going to do it kind of to the diagonal, and I'm going to deepen the shadows. I'm going to reduce the highlights, and I'm going to reduce the exposure. We just want to darken it down just a little bit. So something like that. I'm going to try one more gradient, but this time I'm going to do a radial. And for this one, I'm going to kind of do it something like this. And I'm going to warm this up, because once we start adding in some of those really beautiful warm colors, I do want to pull this down more about like this, and even more over here, because I really want it to be kind of warmed up like that. And this really helps warm up the image and just kind of make it pop. We're actually going to do one more radial gradient, and I'm going to pull it kind of over here. And for this one, I'm going to reduce the exposure right about there and pull it down again. And we can even pull it more or less over towards our subject so that this is darker and we can reduce our shadows. We just want that side to be a little bit darker as far as the overall look is concerned. If I click back on this mask now, I can also increase my exposure, make it a little bit brighter, and I think I could probably even reduce my clarity again in there, and that's just going to kind of butter it up a bit more. And I think that's good for a starting point. But if we look at this here, I feel like that's kind of gone a little too muddy. So I'm going to reduce it back so that it's kind of just in this circular area here, because I don't really want to mess with this too terribly much. And also, if for whatever reason you want to bring some of that detail back, you can always go to your original mask here. And what you can do is you can just go subtract and choose brush. And by using your bracket key, you can make that a bit bigger. And if we look at the flow, we can reduce our flow maybe down to 20 and look at bringing back a little bit more of that detail. But keeping in mind that if you do that, you're also reducing all of that color work that you did, which I don't want to do. Okay, so this is ready to head into Photoshop. And again, I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. So we're probably already at the 5-minute mark. So what I want to do is just do a couple tweaks to this, because this is really good as it is. But I'm going to duplicate that layer, and I'm going to grab my remove tool, and I'm just going to circle this area, and I'm going to remove that. And when that's done, it should be nice. It should be good. And we're just going to change some color over here and add a little more pop of color here. See? So that's really, I'm just going to add a little bit more here, but really that's perfect. You could also use this and remove this ledge here. And now as far as the colors are concerned, I do want to remove the sky here. Just keep in mind that the things that you remove from an image are things that are going to pull your eye away from your subject, right? Like this little blob here is going to. So just keep that in mind. Just remove all the things that are distracting to your eye. And it's usually really bright spots, things like that are going to pull your eye up, especially if it's bright. Okay, so we want to get rid of all of the little details that are going to make you lose sight of your subject. And do you see how much more balanced this is now? Okay, so I'm going to add a layer, and I'm going to change this to a color blend mode. And I'm going to just choose a basic soft brush. And it's really these cyany colors. I would really rather them be a little bit warmer. So I'm just going to come in here and see what we can do to get rid of this really deep blue cyan color. And so just by using your color blend mode, you can so easily and subtly affect. So because you can see I'm only at about an 8% flow. You could maybe even come in here just around our subject. So anywhere where there's that kind of blue hue, you can come in here and get rid of it. I'm not necessarily going to get rid of this because I think I want to go a little bit warmer. Because I want those sunbeams to look more like the sun as opposed to that green color. So even in here, we just want to really warm this image up. Even on the tree here, and maybe even over here. So you're just warming it up with that kind of little hack. Even in here, you know, you're looking for that warm summer. It's really a flash on this side, but no one knows. So we're just so gently adding in this warmer color like this. All right. And if you really wanted to, you could add an overlay blend mode using the same color, and you could really brighten up the sunshine with that overlay blend mode. It just depends on how strong you want that sun effect to be in your image. Okay, something like that. Now, if you wanted to maybe get rid of that branch or something like that, you could, because that's taking your eye away, right? At least it is me. I find it is distracting me. So I would probably remove that and that. So if we merge these layers together now, and we simply grab that there and probably this piece here, and we're just going to hit remove. A lot of times the remove is really great because it's going to choose from other areas of the image to combine it all together. And it doesn't use credits, which I love because gosh knows that I am not into using any credits. No, thank you. So when it's finished this, the only thing left to do is just to add a little bit of dodging and burning, and that is how you get a nice painterly portrait. Now, I don't have time to do this right now, simply because of the fact that I wanted to keep these 5-6 minutes max, and I know I've already surpassed this with this one. So I will do the studio background in a separate video. But what you can do is you can choose one of these colors, and I just have a basic normal blend mode. That's all it is. And you can come in here and you can just lightly paint that normal blend mode, but it's that warm orange over here, orange gold, whatever you want to call it. And you can just kind of lightly paint this on. You can see I'm only at a 17% blow over here. And then this is going to give you such a beautiful little painterly look. And we're still kind of marrying all of these tones together. You can make it a little bit lighter and just add that light all over here. And if you go over your subject, like I'm going over right now, you don't have to worry about it. You can just add a mask and you can just paint that off. But when you use these really light, beautiful colors, it really will soften your entire background and make it all look so dreamy and so pretty. If you add a lighter color over here, over the speckles and the shadow work, it's going to really make this look painterly and whimsical and all that lovely stuff. So you could even go over here with a very light yellow, and that's going to help marry everything together while keeping it very whimsical. And I'm telling you guys, this is one of my favorite things to do for this type of look. And yeah, you're just going to come in and you're going to paint that directly off your subject and you're good to go. Okay, so that's how I create painterly backgrounds out of outdoor shots. And just keep in mind that I would advise you that if you really want that painterly look outdoors, try to shoot as wide open as possible. And how to get your subject completely in focus is to step all the way back and make sure that you have them full body and they will be completely tack sharp from the back of the head to the front of the face. Okay, see you later.